even though the current regime that's been there for 46 years is just terrible, it's something to really think about what might follow.
Welcome to The Debrief, where we talk with the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the headlines they're covering and where the story's going next. I'm Sarah Bedford, and I'm here with magazine editor David Mark. And David, Donald Trump, he's sort of at a crossroads right now, whether he will or will not take offensive action in Iran to eliminate what's left of its nuclear program. So there are risks for that at home and also abroad, but let's start at home. Politically, what does Trump risk if he decides to take this action?
Well, Trump's key base of support, the MAGA group, you might call it, that's been with him for a decade now, wouldn't be very enthusiastic about this. Trump ran against going into foreign wars, basically any kind of foreign intervention, and this could not be further away from that. So he would lose some support. Then again, he's got a lot of personal support, so it's not clear how much would actually split that base.
Now, globally, the big risk that is part of the discussion right now is what if the U.S. taking a strike against Iran topples the regime, the religious extremist regime in Iran. What comes next? What should the U.S. role be in facilitating what comes next? Could it even be worse? Hard to imagine. What are those risks looking like for him?
Yeah, it's a classic devil you know versus you don't know situation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Ayatollahs, the regime that's been repressing the Iranian people since 1979 is awful, reprehensible, tyrannical. You can come up with all kinds of descriptions for them, but you don't necessarily want to have a power vacuum there either.
Right.
And we've seen
that in other
Middle Eastern countries. Exactly happen next door in Iraq, but this would potentially be even more complicated if that's possible, because Iran is actually a cohesive nationality type of country. It's about 3 times as large as Iraq too, and there's also a really thorny history with the U.S. helping to depose Iranian leaders, at least behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. So even though the current regime that's been there for 46 years is just terrible, it's something to really think about what might follow.
How would you grade Trump's messaging and also the way he's positioned the United States, militarily and diplomatically? If you had to give each of those things a grade of how he's been doing, how would you say he's handling it?
I think overall pretty well, but we don't know what the end game is. It's very much an incomplete at this point, because you can see what might happen if he chooses not to use military action, not to go along, say, with Israel on this, and then the Iranian regime stays in place and they continue menacing with their nuclear program, or if military action does go forward with the U.S., and we have all these unintended consequences. So I think we're going to have to see how it plays out. He's being pretty cautious, so it's kind of surprising, in fact, more than kind of, very surprising he's even gotten to this point from now, and that he's talked about it so openly.
Well, David, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
You can get more from David and the rest of the political team at washingtonexaminer.com.